At its height, Lakewood Church drew over 16,000 people every week to a former NBA arena, transforming it into one of America's most iconic megachurches. The space, once filled with playoff crowds and rock concerts, now hosts worshippers in a stadium-style setting complete with massive video screens, professional lighting, and a full choir. Attendees move through the expansive lobby, coffee shops and bookstores guided by volunteers and parking crews. Every detail, from seating to sound to comfort, is engineered to create a high-impact experience. For many, the spectacle rivals the sermon, blending faith with entertainment on a grand scale. The megachurch phenomenon. Megachurches are more than just large congregations. According to the Hartford Institute for Religion Research, a megachurch is a Protestant congregation with at least 2,000 weekly attendees. By 2020, the US had roughly 1,750 megachurches, many designed like small stadiums with cafes, bookstores, and children's centers. These churches borrowed theatrical production techniques and corporate-style planning to attract and retain crowds. The experience was carefully crafted, from stadium seating to advanced audio-visual systems, so that visitors would feel engaged and welcomed. Growth depended as much on spectacle and comfort as on traditional religious practices or doctrine. Roots in California innovation. The megachurch model traces back to California leaders like Robert Schuller and Bill Hybels. Schuller's Crystal Cathedral and televised Hour of Power introduced faith through possibility thinking and mass media. Hybels' Willow Creek Community Church pioneered the seeker-sensitive model, stripping traditional rituals, incorporating contemporary music, and creating a welcoming, campus-like environment. The goal was to reach people who might never attend a conventional church. Their innovations inspired other congregations to build larger, more polished churches designed to scale. Lakewood adopted many of these principles, prioritizing brand, attendance, and high production services alongside spiritual messaging. A warning from within. In the mid-2000s, a major study by Willow Creek revealed a startling insight. Higher involvement in programs and services didn't reliably produce spiritual maturity. Participation could drive numbers without fostering deeper faith. Hybels himself admitted this was a wake-up call for the movement. The findings spread quickly, challenging the assumption that bigger crowds meant stronger spiritual outcomes. Despite the warning, the momentum of megachurches was too strong to slow down. Leaders were entrenched in high-cost operations, media campaigns, and expansive facilities, all incentivizing growth and spectacle over introspection or spiritual depth. The Joel Osteen era, the passing of John Osteen in 1999, brought his son Joel to the pulpit. Formerly the church's television producer, Joel introduced a style shaped by broadcast media. Sermons became shorter, messages softened, and emphasis shifted from sin and repentance to positivity, hope, and personal destiny. This approach resonated widely, drawing more attendees and extending the church's reach via books and television. Joel's leadership solidified Lakewood's identity around encouragement and uplift rather than doctrinal teaching. Attendance soared and the church became a national symbol of modern faith, demonstrating how leadership style could define both brand and spiritual messaging. Investing in Spectacle Lakewood's transformation in 2005, costing roughly $95 million, turned the former NBA stadium into a purpose-built worship arena. The renovation included stadium seating, sound systems, expanded children's areas, cafes, and a sprawling lobby designed to enhance the experience of worship. This investment reinforced a commitment to spectacle as central to the church's identity. High overhead costs and ongoing maintenance made it difficult to pivot away from the arena model, locking the church into a strategy dependent on large crowds. The experience itself became a draw, with every service a highly orchestrated production designed to keep the audience engaged and returning. The limits of scale. Large high-production churches like Lakewood face unique pressures. The emphasis on spectacle and comfort creates dependency on attendance numbers to sustain operations. Every decision, from programming to outreach, must support the continued flow of visitors. While scale allows for broad reach, it also increases vulnerability. Financial commitments and infrastructure create inertia, making it challenging to respond to crises or cultural shifts without risking reputation or viability. The success that built Lakewood's empire also created fragility, exposing the tension between spectacle-driven growth and long-term spiritual resilience. Cracks in public trust. Lakewood's response to Hurricane Harvey in 2017 highlighted the fragility of public perception. When the church temporarily closed its doors, critics accused it of exaggerating flooding conditions. Although Lakewood eventually opened as a shelter and mobilized volunteers, the episode left a mark on public trust. It demonstrated how perception can influence a congregation's reputation, especially for institutions built on visibility and spectacle. Even a brief misstep or communication failure can erode confidence when a church's identity is tied as much to image as to spiritual mission. The pandemic shock, the COVID-19 pandemic, forced churches nationwide to close, dramatically accelerating a decline in attendance. Surveys indicate that the number of Americans who never attend services jumped from 26% to roughly 35%, with many never returning. The sudden halt exposed vulnerabilities in institutions reliant on in-person spectacle. The Mars Hill Church example in Seattle underscores the stakes. After Pastor Mark Driscoll's resignation, the church dissolved almost overnight, demonstrating how tightly leader-centric models can crumble under pressure. Megachurches face similar risks when attendance rather than spiritual depth defines their identity. Declining religious affiliation. National trends further compound the challenge. Gallup reported that, for the first time in modern history, fewer than half of Americans belong to a house of worship in 2020. Declining affiliation reflects changing habits, cultural shifts, and skepticism toward institutions. Megachurches built around spectacle, brand, and leader charisma may struggle to adapt when habits break or trust falters. Attendance alone can no longer guarantee influence or growth, leaving even established institutions vulnerable to shifts in societal behavior and expectations. The fragile foundation of spectacle. Lakewood's story reveals the risks of prioritizing scale and showmanship over deeper roots. Spectacle can draw crowds, inspire loyalty, and generate national attention, but it cannot fully withstand crises that test trust, habit, or leadership continuity. Megachurches are at their most vulnerable when image and experience overshadow substance, leaving the foundation of faith untested. True resilience comes from building communities that endure beyond production values, high-tech facilities, or charismatic leadership, ensuring that spiritual life persists even when the arena empties. Conclusion: lessons for faith communities. The story of Lakewood Church illustrates both the power and limitations of mega church culture. It shows how spectacle can attract millions, but also how fragile that foundation becomes when trust, habit, or leadership are disrupted. For faith communities, the lesson is clear. Sustainable growth depends not only on attendance and production, but on cultivating deep, enduring roots. The question for any church is whether it values fleeting spectacle or lasting spiritual resilience. As attendance patterns shift and society changes, the future belongs to those who can balance inspiration with substance and showmanship with enduring community.